Good morning, good evening, Megan Mitchell. It is January 5th, and I am headed back to work today after a long Christmas and New Year's break. And I just wanted to come on and say hello and to say a few things about silence and the power of silence. You know, we are all always anxiously awaiting information from the back office, from Ash, but I've been thinking about how strong and how the reserve that it must take for Ash to remain silent sometimes and to do what he needs to do behind the scenes. You know, we as leaders, all of us who are hopefully leading, we're pressured. We have people asking questions, wanting to know if there's any latest updates, but it takes a lot of strength and a lot of willpower to remain silent and not to speak when it's not necessary. You know, we know that Ash is very busy behind the scenes. We know that in Victory with Ash and in our OES, there is a great deal going on. And I think it's important to remember that we are being looked to as the ones to set the tone for the culture and for what to expect. And of course, we all want to have the latest information, but we're also, as leaders, supposed to be setting the tone for patience and for trust, and to remain steadfast even when we don't have constant spoon feeding. You know, we have been nurtured by Ash over the past however many years you've been involved in this journey, by Ash's constant presence, which is amazing, but also it's a little bit of a crutch. And I think Ash is looking to all of us to be strong-willed enough to not need to be spoon-fed, to know that what's happening behind the scenes is happening for a reason, and that we will have updates when the time is appropriate. It must be incredibly difficult for him to not want to come out and make a statement or make an announcement at every phase, at every little small step. But he knows that strategy and strategically making announcements at the right time is so much more powerful than noise. You know, a lot of times in business, meaningful contribution is sometimes overlooked in the presence of noise. And just, you know, for example, if you work in a company that constantly has meetings over every little thing versus meaningful dialogue or meaningful meetings about things that are really, really important. So I wanted you to think about that importance and about the importance of silence, and how it takes strong will to remain silent and to still remain confident and steadfast in the journey and in what is happening behind the scenes, and to trust. And I think that's what we need to remember, is that we are being looked to set that tone for others. I think it's important because sometimes, you know, we just need to be confident, and we need to express that confidence and that patience to others. Ash is looking for us as his, I don't want to say soldiers or his ambassadors, to set that tone while he is busy working on our futures and working on everything behind the scenes. So let's remain steadfast. Let's remain confident. and patient, and know that the information will come out when it's necessary and when it's appropriate. And remember that sometimes silence is still very golden, and that we all are right where we want to be and right where we need to be in Victory with Ash. Have a blessed Monday.